In the land of Israel, two great armies stood on opposite hills with a valley between them. One side had the Israelite soldiers. They were brave but nervous. The other side had the Philistines. These guys were very loud, proud, and confident. But what made the Israelites most afraid? It was not the Philistine army. It was their champion. His name was Goliath. He was as tall as a tree. He wore shining armor as heavy as a small cow. And his voice was so deep and loud, it made birds fly away from trees. Every day, Goliath came out from the Philistine camp and shouted, "Send someone to fight me. If they beat me, we'll leave you alone. But if I win, you serve us forever." The Israelites looked at each other. They trembled over these words. No one dared to fight the giant. Day after day, Goliath roared his challenge, and day after day, no one stepped forward. Meanwhile, far from the battlefield, a young shepherd boy named David was watching over his family's sheep. He was a small and cheerful boy who loved to play songs on his harp. One day, his father, Jesse, called him. "David, take this bread and cheese to your brothers. They are on the battlefield. Check on them and see how they're doing." David packed the food and walked for miles to the army camp. When he arrived, he saw soldiers standing with worried faces. And then he heard Goliath's roar from the valley. "Who was that?" David asked. "That's Goliath," a soldier replied. "He wants a fight, but no one is brave enough to confront him." David was surprised. "Why? Isn't God with us?" The soldier laughed. "Maybe, but that Goliath is huge." David shook his head. "No, he's no bigger than a lion, and I've chased lions away from my sheep before." The soldier raised an eyebrow. "Wait, but you're just a boy. You'd fight him?" David nodded confidently. "Yes, not because I'm strong, but because God is." When King Saul heard that a young shepherd boy wanted to fight the giant, he almost spilled his drink. "Bring him to me immediately," he said. So David stood before the king, small, dusty, and smiling. "You want to fight Goliath, huh?" King Saul asked, blinking in surprise. David nodded confidently. "I fought lions and bears to protect my sheep. God helped me then, and he'll help me now." The king looked at David, then looked out at Goliath. He sighed. "Well, all right, but at least wear armor." They brought out heavy metal armor and a big sword. But when they put it on David, he wobbled and fell over. Clang! "It's too heavy," David laughed. "I can't move in this." So he took off the armor and picked up something much smaller and much stranger. A slingshot and 5 smooth stones from a stream. "That's all I need," David said. David walked down the hill into the valley. The soldiers held their breath. On the other side, Goliath stomped forward, laughing when he saw the small boy. "This is your warrior?" Goliath boomed. "Am I a dog that you come at me with a stick?" David didn't flinch. He stood tall and shouted, "You come with a sword and armor, but I come with the power of God, and today he will help me defeat you." The soldiers gasped. Was this little boy serious? Goliath roared and charged forward. Boom, boom, boom. The ground shook under his feet. One stone, one shot. David didn't run. He didn't hide. He reached into his pouch, pulled out a stone, and placed it in his sling. And then he began to spin it around and around. Whir, whir, whir. Then whoosh. He let the stone fly. It zipped through the air and hit Goliath right in the middle of his forehead. Thump! Goliath stopped. Then he wobbled, and then he landed with a mighty crash. Boom! The giant fell flat on his face. That was the victory. The Philistine soldiers gasped. Their strongest warrior had been defeated by a boy with a sling. They turned and ran away with great fear. The Israelite army cheered and rushed forward, celebrating the victory. David stood beside the giant's fallen body, holding his sling. Not because he was the biggest, not because he was the strongest, but because he was brave and believed in something bigger than himself. Later that night, David sat under a tree, looking up at the stars. He held the smooth sling in his hand and whispered, "Thank you, God, for giving me courage when I needed it most." And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Sometimes it's not the size of your body that matters. It's the size of your faith. I hope you enjoyed that story. If you like this story, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And hey, you can't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss more amazing stories from the Bible. There are lots of other wonderful Bible stories and videos lined up for you to see on this channel. Go ahead and click the next video, and I'll see you there.